How much does it cost to fix an oil leak? Looking for information on oil leak repair cost Toyota Camry? Here in this video we will look at how much it costs to fix an oil leak on your car. An oil leak is not something a driver should ignore. If you ignore it or put it off, it can cause damage to your vehicle. Oil leaking on some seals or hoses can damage them permanently. It can also mess up your driveway or garage by staining the floor. You need to quickly fix your Toyota Camry if you discover that it is leaking oil, as it may result to engine failure entirely. In order to be aware of any problem with your oil, make sure you frequently check your oil dipstick. Another way to know if you are experiencing an oil leak is when you notice that there is blue color smoke coming out of your tailpipe. Hold on a bit, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos like this. This could be a sign that oil is leaking on some hot engine components. The most obvious way is to check if there is a puddle under your engine when you park. If you see a red liquid, then transmission fluid, green or orange liquid signifies the coolant, while brown liquid is an indication that the engine is leaking oil. Toyota Camry engine is covered by valves and gaskets and they prevent the oil leaking. So, if you discover that oil is leaking, one of them is probably damaged. You might need to repair or tighten them. The cost to repair is around $240 and $350. Causes of oil leak in your Toyota Camry. Once you notice that your low oil light is illuminated, you need to take your Camry for inspection. But you should, first of all, know some of the things that could lead to this. There are 4 major causes of oil leak in your Toyota Camry, and they are: 1. If the valve cover gasket shrinks or cannot no longer seal, it is a signal that the oil is leaking. The oil that is leaking will gather to the top of the manifold by fuel injector because the engine is in front of the firewall. This oil might start dropping on top of the oil gasket, making it seem that the gasket has a problem. 2. Oil can also leak if the rubber coating the valve cover that is at the right side of the engine has shrinks or does not function properly again. 3. When the seals from the crankshaft, camshaft and oil pump are worn out or tired, it could also lead to oil leak. If the leak continues, it might affect the timing belt because it will eventually break. 4. Transmission fluid might also be leaking from a damaged or worn out axle shaft seal. This will cause the transmission leak to drop drastically. So how much does it really cost to fix an oil leak on a car? Well, whether your car is old or new, it can develop an oil leak problem. The oil in the car is what keeps the engine cool when it is operating. When your oil gets low because of a leak, this could lead to major engine damage and you will have to spend much more. It is advisable to spend as much as possible to repair an oil leak rather than waiting until it has caused destructive damage to the car. The factor that determines the price you will pay is where the leak has occurred in the car. It is very easy to replace an oil seal and gasket because they are very common material. So if the problem is from either of those two, then the cost should be around $5 to $30 to get the parts. Most of this cost comes from the money paid for labor and replacing faulty components. However, if the camshaft seal is the faulty one, then it will be a bit pricey. This is because it requires removing several components like the timing belt and some other accessories in the engine. This can cost between $150 and $1,200 depending on the type of car you are using. The cheapest repair is to replace the valve cover gasket. You do not have to replace a leaking gasket or seal most of the time. Sometimes it just needs to be repaired due to some cracks or dryness. Oil leak repair cost Toyota Camry. Once you are aware that your Camry is leaking oil, and then it is normal to get it fixed. If you keep postponing it, it will end up getting over the components of the car and burn it. This is because if the oil gets exhausted, the engine will not have necessary to run smoothly. If you notice any sound like clattering or grinding coming from your car, this might be an oil problem. This is because there isn't enough oil for proper lubrication. If your Toyota Camry is leaking oil and you are thinking of repairing it, it is only normal that you should have a budget. To fix an oil leak in your Toyota Camry, you need to have between $88 and $111. Do not drive your Camry if you notice an oil leak, as this might damage it more and you will end up spending higher. Toyota Camry Oil Pan Gasket Replacement. The oil pan is a container that contains the engine oil and it seals the oil pan to the engine's bottom. The engine needs to remain lubricated by the engine oil so that some components will not damage themselves. The gasket and oil pan is attached to the engine under the car. When the gasket wears out, you will see oil under the car as it starts to leak. If the gasket is faulty, then the oil pan might be faulty too. To change the gasket, the mechanic has to do the following. Check for leakages or any damage. Remove oil from gasket and oil pan. Thoroughly clean the pan and install a new gasket. Put it new engine oil and filter. Let engine work for some time and recheck if there are any other leaks. That is all you need to know about the oil leak in your Toyota Camry. Always remember to check your car for any oil leak regularly. To avoid damage, if you discover that there is an oil leak in your car, do not continue to drive it until it is fixed. I hope you find this post on oil leak repair cost Toyota Camry helpful. If you do, please share it. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos like this.